And Warner has the rebound. Strange into offense for the first time. Important that they function better than they did last night against Italy. They really couldn't get their offense flowing last night. Inside of Bradke, and the first foul of the game called by Zeke, and it's on Gerson. Caught reaching as the bounce pass was coming into Bradke. Blahov taking on, pulls back. Down to Andrew Gaze. Lob pass into Borna. Borna's fouled, but no call. Israel gets the ball away off to Mori. The Brazilians on their famous fast break. Gerson in the perimeter, pops the jumper, and it rolls out. Bradke has the rebound. Australia on the roll. Gaze pulls up for a long three-pointer. It's good. What a start for Australia. That's just what they wanted. The bench is up, and Andrew Gaze, his first shot, a three-pointer. Michael?
That's a great start there for Australia with Andrew Gaze. Getting for a shooter to get his iron so early like that is an encouraging sign.
Australia 3, Brazil yet to score. Oscar with his first shot of the game, and it's a three, so score side. Oscar is 6'8" and has incredible range for a big player. Being left wide open by Oscar. Blahov to the basket and is fouled. He'll go to the line for 2 shots. In fact, he's drawn a foul on Oscar.
Interesting already, Ross, that Australians are playing a very slow tempo game. They're not getting into this run and gun situation with the Brazilians.
Blahov is going to be dared to shoot, I'd say, by Oscar all night. Oscar may want to conserve some energy by not playing such hard defence. So if Andrew Blahov can make that open jump shot, it's going to help Australia offensively.
And Oscar not renowned for his defence.
Both foul shots, Australia leading 5-3. Little trap here from Gaze and Smythe. Maury beats the trap. Bounce pass to Israel. Israel, easy layup. Nice play from Maury. Tied up at 5. Early in the third game of the World Championships, Rosario, Argentina. Smythe wide open. Three-pointer called by Davidov, but he misses. Good rebound by Vlahov. Takes it up. He's fouled. Bradke gets handed, but Oscar comes up with the loose ball. Gaze steals it off Oscar. Great play, Andrew Gaze. And he's got no one underneath, but he's going to go for the three. Just misses. In fact, actually, Borna and Vlahov had got back there, but Andrew thought about that one for a long time, Michael.
He certainly did. He had his mind on that one for a long time. I'm not too sure whether he was going to take the three or take the drive, but I think the hesitation might have cost Australia in the end.
Smythe backing off for it this time, not pressuring him. Israel jumper from the top of the key. Misses. Smythe gets a timely hand of the ball because Gerson had an open rebound there. Saints not blocking out very well that time. Full house here tonight at Newell's Old Boys Stadium. They're hanging from the rafters.
Australia switch defenders here.
Oscar with a long jumper that misses. Switching defence by the Australians, switching when Oscar comes off screens. Marcel, great three-point shooter Marcel, misses, and Israel flips the ball out. Marcel is deadly from the three-point line. People tend to over-concentrate on Oscar, and then Marcel does it to you.
That's right, Ross. You can't let him go either.
Australians with the two high posts. Lob pass in, cut away, but Australia get the ball back. Neither team terribly fluent in offense at the moment. Smythe switches to the other side. Comes Andrew off, goes up the screen. Clock down to 4 seconds. Blahov has to shoot a long one. Misses, but Borna battles for it. And Davidov gives it to Australia. Good effort there by Ray Borna. He stayed with the play. Gerson had the front position, but Borna was persistent and forced the ball Australia's way. Gaze being marked by Marcel. Australians are playing the distinctly slower offence tonight. Smythe to Vlahov. Vlahov takes it in strong. Nice finger roll. Good play from the Australians. Very patient offence. Now the Brazilians want to break, but the Australians have numbers back. That's the sort of basketball we want to see. Oscar again for three. He's fouled by Andrew Vlahov.
And we might even see him going to the line here for 3 shots if that was an attempt from outside the three-point line. Yes, the referee signalling, I think, 3 shots here for the great Oscar Smith.
Davidov is quite a character. You're going to see a lot of him tonight, the referee. Great Oscar really misses from the foul line. Score's tied at 7-all. Oscar has one more shot because he was fouled outside the three-point line. So he gets 3 tries and makes the 3. Score 8-7. Up by Morty. Clever play by Smythe at the other end.
He's played very well, Phil. He's tapped a couple of balls that were going out back into Andrew Gaze there. Australia playing quite well. This is the most encouraging start.
One of the keys to the game, Luke Longley is just stepped in. If Luke can regain some form, it's going to help enormously for Australia here. He's been struggling recently. Gaze taking on Morey and drawing the foul again. Gaze is proving a headache for Morey. Morey is point guard, looks to be about 6'2". Gaze at 6'6", has a slight advantage on him height-wise. Australians deliberate offence. Smythe may well have taken that shot on other occasions, but they're going to make the Brazilians play some defence here. Vlahov taking on Oscar to the basket. Looked like he was fouled. Longley picks up the rebound, decides to pull out. Israel hacking away at him. Bradke all the way through. Bradke, that's 2 points. Referee Zeke straight onto that. The ball was interfered with. Brazilians off on the break. Australia leading 13-10. Marcel from 3. Misses. Good rebound, Bradke. Australians slowing up again. This is the sort of game we'd like to see, Michael.
Yes, they're playing very well here, Ross. We should also mention that Andrew Vlahov during that break picked up his 2nd foul, so he's on 2.
Longley right out from the basket. Shifts to Vlahov. Vlahov taking on Oscar again. Bounce past to Bradke. Nice play. Beautiful play, Andrew Vlahov, and Bradke finishes off well. Smart play from Vlahov taking it, but Smith comes straight back with a left-hand running shot. Ball, loose ball. Smythe taps it again to go. Smart play by Smythe. Andrew's taking on 3 of them and goes all the way to the hoop and scores. The crowd loves that. 17-10, the Brazilians hate it. We've got a timeout here. Australia leading 17-10. Score is 17-10. Australia's way.
Do you want me to give some quick, like...
The Brazilians have blown a couple of layups. They're getting a little frustrated. Score 19-10. This is just the way Australia wanted to start. Lob into Bradke. Takes it up against Israel and scores 21-10. And the Australians have numbers back. Marcel taking on Gaze. Zeke has called a foul. Didn't seem to be anything there.
Fairly soft one. I think he thought Andrew might have put his knee in the progress of Marcel, but a great start here by the Australians. Andrew Vlahov in particular with 10 points has done a fantastic job on Oscar Smith.
Marcel passes to Oscar. Oscar loses the handle and Vlahov picks it up. Vlahov's having a great game.
A lot of turnovers here being forced by Australia, and that's another encouraging sign.
Smythe slowing the show down again. Australia are running the game on their terms, and that is what we want. Longley right out for the basket. Lobs, but Gerson doesn't get a hand on it, but Smith comes up with it. Brazilians looking to break. Oscar makes a pass to Marcel. Longley intimidates and fouls.
Not a bad foul there in that situation because it looked like the Brazilian was going to get an easy 2 points, and Longley certainly made him earn it.
Referee motions in the 2 Australian subs. Andrew Vlahov goes to the bench, an outstanding start. Mark Bradke also outstanding, both doing very well. Replaced by Larry Sengstock, the veteran, and Ray Borner.
Well, the idea for the Australians is to rotate Sengstock, Vlahov, and possibly Tim Morrissey later on Oscar Smith.
They're going to run a shuttle service at Oscar. But Oscar's used to that. Marcel makes the first. Makes the second. Australia leading 21-12. Brazilians make a stub. In comes Luis Felipe, who is the three-point specialist. And also Garina is a point guard. An unlikely-looking point guard, but he can certainly play. He knows every trick in the book. Sengstock a long way from the basket. This will be a key for Australia. The starting group did an excellent job. If the players off the bench can keep the flow going, it's going to go a long way towards this.
5 seconds left on the shot clock.
Longley takes it in. Dishes to Sengstock. Sengstock gets the fall away up. Longley unfortunately didn't get the tip. Here comes the Brazilian break. Karina backs it off. Luis Felipe looking to shoot straight away. Dishes to Gerson. Gerson scores. 14-21. Australia leading. 7-point lead. Australia out to Gaze, three-point shot. Bingo for Andrew Gaze. That's just what the Aussies wanted. 24-14.
8 points in the game to Andrew Gaze.
Sengstock now matching up on Oscar. Oscar flips across to Karina. Longley picks up another foul. This is a problem for Longley, picking up fouls.
Yes, we saw him fouled out last night, fairly early against Italy. And he's already got 2 against his name so far.
Australia's going to need the big redhead in those last 5 minutes. Oscar from way out. Lucky hit the ring. Longley lost the ball, but fortunately Australia come up with it.
Well, another encouraging sign is that Oscar's been way off target. That was a terrible shot.
I don't think we can expect that the whole night. Longley battling inside against Israel. Andrew Gaze for 3. Not quite. Break. Luis Felipe smites in his way. Gaze picks up the foul, doesn't dispute it. Referee Zeke right onto that one. Possibly the first fast break of the game for the Brazilians.
Yes, it was interesting to note that's the way they love to play, that fast break. They get the rebound and ping that ball with full court, and that time Nelly making full use of it.
Oscar Schmidt is quoted as saying life is a fast break.
He's also quoted saying that he does not have the mentality to play defence.
It's been a substitution here. Phil Smythe's taking a well-earned rest. Damien Keogh had a great game against Italy, checked in. He'll take up the point guard responsibilities. Some dispute here about with referees Zeke and Oscar.
Just while we're waiting for that, we've also got Andrew Gaze on 2 fouls.
Luis Felipe makes it, scores 16-24. Australia with an 8-point lead. Borna loses the handle on it. Borna made that shot last night. It'll be a great bonus if he can hit those long jumpers again.
Particularly after he hit 18 points in the second half.
Outstanding effort from Ray Borna last night against Italy. Gaze taking on. Davidov's picked up a foul. It's on Luis Felipe. The normally flamboyant Davidov's been quite conservative tonight. First foul to Luis Felipe. Bradkey getting ready to check in for the Australians. Underneath the Sengstock. Sengstock takes it up, blocks by Galina, comes off Oscar's hand. No, it doesn't. Davidov says Brazil ball.
Larry Sengstock claiming he was hit from behind then.
Green dishes to Israel. They score. Brazilians are starting to find their pattern, and Adrian Hill has responded, requesting a timeout. So we're going to have a rest on the next break. They'll talk about how they can get back into their game plan. Cow off the screen. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Australians have to get going here. 5 seconds. Longley from the foul line. Just missing. Good tip off. Yes, good effort by Larry Sengstock. Has the front position. And save that for Australia. And we have a timeout. Australia leading 24-18. Poe. Gerson facing up against Bradke, taking him on. Fall-away jumper, short. Israel crashes over the top and picks the foul up. Good position from Ray Borner.
Yes, Australia doing well both inside. From the perimeter, we see some cheering here from the large pro-Brazilian crowd.
Israel disputing the call, and the Argentinian crowd are quick to get on to anything that they don't like and let the players know. Gaze isolated, screen coming up. Bradke off the screen. They're daring the Australian big men to take that open shot. Vlahov taking on Oscar again and scoring. This is a vital factor for Australia. Vlahov's offense and his defense are major pluses for Australia.
Yes, 12 points to Andrew Vlahov, an outstanding effort to date.
Australia only having 3 scorers in the game so far, Michael.
That's right, we've got Mark Bradke on 6, Andrew Gaze 8, and Andrew Vlahov on 12.
Luis Felipe flips up a hope. It misses. Gerson, Damien Keogh appeared to get the ball and force it onto Gerson's knee, but referee Zeke called a hands foul. We have a sub. Andrew Gaze is going to have a rest. He's been replaced by Phil Smythe, and Larry Singstock's replacing Ray Borner. And it's 1-on-1. Australia are over the limit. That's an 8th team foul. So Gerson will get a 1-on-1 here. He makes the first, cuts the Australian lead to 7. And misses the second. Singstock, good position, tips it out to Smythe. Australia slowing it down again.
Exactly how Ian Davies predicted, with Phil Smythe just walking the ball up the court.
Australia is big enough to run with most teams now, but they would be playing into the hands of the Brazilians. Vlahov is now, courtesy of his offense, has been switched off by Oscar. He's now being guarded by Luis Felipe, but the Australians turn it over. And a foul on Phil Smythe. So Brazilians will walk to the other end of the court for a 1-on-1. Not sure who was fouled there, but we're going to see a replay here. It's Israel, and you can see clearly Smythe catching him on the arm. Israel's a very solid player. Looks to be standing about 6'9", 6'10". Makes the first. Australian leads back to 6-20-26. One for one from the foul line, as the graphic shows you. And short with the second. Australia running with both Smythe and Keogh. With Andrew Gaze on the bench, Keogh's 3-pointers and Smythe's 3-pointers may be needed here.
Yes, this is possibly their smallest lineup here, Ross.
Keogh looking to penetrate. Bradke a long way out from the basket. Shot clock down to 4. Vlahov has to throw it up. No, Phil Smythe's going to shoot it from 3. Hits the back of the ring, but Gerson leaps high to take a nice rebound. Down to Oscar. Oscar taking on Smythe, off balance, but Oscar makes it, breaks his drought, wakes the crowd up a little bit. I'm not sure Australia wanted to wake the crowd up. Score 22-26. Andrew Gaze is getting ready to come back in. Vlahov taking on Oscar again. Misses but follows. Taking on it. Oh, he's had Davidov's onto it. He's called it. Referee Zeke didn't seem to see what happened. He was in a better position. Referee Davidov picked the foul up.
I think on number 5, Kuharina. I think it was a reaching foul there, Ross. So
Vlahov, the Brazilians are over the limit too. So Vlahov may be shooting 1-on-1, or they may have adjudicated this to be a shooting foul. No, it's a 1-on-1, says referee Davidov. We'll see this on the replay now. Vlahov spins after a good rebound. I think it was Karina that got him.
He chopped his hand in half almost, so yeah, there's no doubt that was a foul.
Andrew Gaze checked back in for Damien Keogh. makes the first. Andrew Vlahov's got to keep shooting the ball, Michael.
Yes, he's a very underrated player. He's come off the bench in the first two games. The first game against China, he had 18 points and 11 rebounds. Last night he wasn't quite as solid.
And he gets the rebound, throws it up off balance. Bad luck, Vlahov. Better get back on Z. The Brazilians got numbers. Luis Felipe charges over the top of Phil Smythe. No call on the play. Ball comes off the Australians, out of bounds. Brazil ball. Now we've got Bradke on Oscar. Just about everybody in the Australian team's going to have a go. Oscar dishes to Luis Felipe. Felipe draws two players. Smythe comes up with it. Smythe is going to dive on this, but Garina's good enough to pick it up. He's on the floor. Gets it over to Israel. And a long shot from Israel. Slight comedy of errors there. But Australia, the recipient of a long shot.
It's good to see the Australians forcing the Brazilians into errors, and it looks like there might be a little bit of panic in the Brazilian camp.
Australia having a bit of a drought offensively. They need to get back on track offensively. Ball knocked down. Oh, can Sengstock pick it up? Garina's got it, and that's going to be Larry Sengstock. Very lucky not to be called for an intentional foul.
I was going to say, this could have been intentional.
Referee Zeke, subject to pressure, has changed his call. Adrian, what we're going to see is the dunk that ended up as a result, but this is a no. We're not going to see that dunk. Referee Zeke didn't make a call for an intentional foul, but then when the crowd started to hoot and the Brazilians started to hoot.
Yes, there seemed to be a lot of pressure here from beyond the bounds of the court. The fans making a lot of noise, and referee Zeke deciding he would give 2 free throws to the Brazilians. And of course, they'll take possession from the side after he makes his second shot.
Garina makes the first. Larry Sengstock stepped out. Ray Borna has stepped back in. Lakes both, knowing the Brazilians' capacity to shoot the 3, this could be a 5-point play. Australia leading by 3. Vlahov back onto Oscar. Israel on the low post. Oscar's been in the key for about 5 seconds. Still hasn't gone out of the key. Israel backs in. Baby hook shot. Makes it. Australian lead cut to 1. Brazil staying in straight man-to-man tonight. And their defence is starting to wear down the Australian offence. Smythe pops out. Over to Gaze for a 3-pointer. Doesn't get the bounce. Vlahov's there again. Israel comes up with it.
And the Australian bench calling for travel then. It looked like the Brazilian player moved under the basket.
Oscar takes it from way outside.
And claiming he was fouled. He's not happy with the referee. Still talking to the referee on the way up the court.
I think Oscar may have had a case there. Try to get another chance to extend their lead. Lob pass to Borna.
I'm not too sure if those lob passes are working to perfection. But we see Smythe at the top of the key. Gaze driving. And call a charge on Andrew Gaze. His first foul. And that's a dangerous sign for the Australians. And unfortunately the basket went in, or the shot went in. But and now the crowd warming up to...
We're going to have a timeout here, Michael. Adrian Hurley wants to have a talk about it. Australia leading 27-26. Exactly firing on all cylinders. Oscar decides to try and change that. Up in the air, misses. Brazilian rebound. Luis Felipe jumping from the baseline. That's good. And Brazil regain the lead. 28-27. Australia have stuck on 27 at the moment. 3 minutes to go, first half.
Yes, Brazil have made a 6-0 surge here, so Australia's really got to get something on the board.
It's not a high-scoring game at the moment, but 6 points in a row is a lot in this sort of tight basketball. Foul calls on Garina. Phil Smythe going to the line for 1-on-1.
Phil Smythe throwing a lot of fouls there too, which will help the Australians' cause.
Australian Mike Mackay checking in for his action. I bet he's got butterflies in the tummy. Big game like this.
Yes, Mackay didn't see any time at all last night against Italy, but had a few minutes, as did all the Australians in the opening game against China.
Adrian Hurley pacing the sidelines. Smythe uncharacteristically misses, but Borna, ever reliable, comes up with a rebound. The Aussies get another go to get off this 27. Mackay is a three-point shooter. The Brazilians may not be aware of his ability to score. Offensive foul called on Vlahoff. Referee Davidoff making the call.
And that's 3 fouls to Andrew Vlahoff too. So Australia in a little bit of early foul trouble here with both Andrew Gaze and Andrew Vlahoff on 3 fouls.
Brazilians making a sub. Rolando, a 7-footer coming in, gives Israel a rest. Brazilians looking to extend their lead.
There could be some mismatches here. Australia might have to get Longley back in to match up on the big number 8 from Brazil.
Luis Felipe being marked by Mackay. Taking him on, Bradke to help. And Zeke calls a foul. Felipe is quite quick. He'll have one-on-one because he wasn't in the act of shooting.
It's been a great battle of defences here, Ross, with both sides struggling to get points on the board. And a lot of defensive pressure. We're seeing both the star guards, Andrew Gaze and Oscar Smith, being closely guarded.
Brazil extend their lead to 3, 30-27. Australia would like to be close or leading at halftime, obviously, but got to get that offense going. No easy baskets at this level of competition. Vlahoff back out to Smythe. Borna taking it on, but he's had his pocket picked by Garina. Garina cross to a new player into the game. Trying to pick that player up, that's Fernando. Fernando who's checked in, Fernando Minucci. Rolando away from the basket, throws a bad pass, that'll be Australian ball. Australia need to score this time down.
Yes, it's the surge at the moment has been 12 points to 2, so Australia must do something to get back on the scoreboard.
Veteran Smythe, a big play is needed. Mackay, his first shot and a basket, clutch shot by Mackay. Just what the Australians needed. 29-30, Brazil by 1. Longley's going to be checking back in. What Luke Longley doesn't want is another foul before halftime. Garina's going to penetrate and dish. He does to Gerson. Gerson loses it and travels and shoots. It gets taken off the rim by Bradke, which you can do at international level.
My word, he travelled then.
He certainly did. Australia's not getting the rolls at the moment on some of the calls. Australia could go the lead here. Psychological advantage to take a lead into the halftime break. Cut out by Garina. Australia's going to restart this with 8 seconds to go on the shot clock. Longley comes in for Borna.
Would be an important psychological advantage if Australia could score here.
Garina has fouled. Now Smythe's going to have a one-on-one. He missed the front end of the one-on-one last time.
Yeah, most unusual for Phil Smythe. Well, this is just what Australia would want. And perhaps, well, not perhaps, they want to stop Brazil scoring last time down the court and go into the halftime break with 38 seconds to go with a splendid lead.
Smythe uncharacteristically misses again. You wouldn't bank on that ever. Brazilians going to work this down with expect and take a shot close to 30-second buzz. Australia will have a chance to score, but it's only going to be about 8 seconds on the shot clock, or on the game clock, I should say.
Important they don't
Felipe, the little man gets through. Australia's going to have one shot. They trail by 3. The three-pointer would tie the score. 7 seconds. Vlahoff, fall-away jump shot. That misses everything. Gerson from 90 or 100 feet misses. And we have halftime. Brazil leading 32-29. Australia started to struggle in the second 10 minutes, but there's a long way to go in this game. Back to the studio and Ken Hose.
Thank you very much, Ross Close, and Also, Michael Lovett over there in Argentina, of course, and it certainly turned into an extremely tight game for us. It's going to be an interesting one. We'll take a commercial break right now. We will be back to assess the first half of the match after this. At half-time, Brazil going in with a 3-point lead over Australia. But certainly, Ian Davies, they started Australia, as you anticipated, taking the ball up slowly, and it worked well for them. Yeah, at the beginning of the game, I thought Australia came out and were very well prepared against Brazil, and we were going inside very effectively early. And I think towards the end of that half, we went away from that a bit and struggled. And, of course, Brazil's inside defense picked up a bit also. And I think Australia, to do better, will have to go back to that like we did at the beginning of the game and try and get Brad Key and Longley and Ray Borner inside where maybe we can pick up a couple of fouls on their bigger people, because I don't think Brazilians' bigger men can handle our big guys inside. Oscar hasn't had a great influence on the game at this stage? No, Andrew Vlahov's done a very good job of, once Oscar gets rid of the ball, not letting him get it back. And a player that, like Oscar Smith, you have to do that once he doesn't have the ball, make him really work hard away from the ball to get it, and Andrew's doing well. He's got 3 fouls, and also Andrew Gaze has 3 fouls, and I think that shouldn't bother Andrew too much, because he's played a lot of basketball with foul trouble, and he should be able to get on top of that. But certainly, Brad, those fouls on Vlahov and on Andrew Gaze at this stage of the game are going to put a bit of additional pressure onto Australia, aren't they? Oh, well, to do a good defensive job on Oscar Smith, you need a few fouls up your sleeve, and Andrew with 3, it's going to make it a bit harder for him, Andrew Vlahov. The turnaround in the game, I think, maybe was that intentional foul there, where we had a comfortable lead and gave them 4 points all of a sudden. Yes, the penalty for the intentional foul, you might explain that, because it is a big turnaround all of a sudden, isn't it? Yeah, well, instead of them just getting a 2-point layup, I think it was Larry Sandstock actually grabbed the player because he could see that they were going to get the layup, and that gave them 2 shots from the line, and they made both and then came down and scored. So Australia lost their 5-point lead, I think it was. Yeah. We started, Ian, with a pretty good shooting percentage. I guess, particularly in the case of Phil Smythe, that's fallen away a little in the latter part of that first half. Yeah, I think, like I said early in the game, the boys come out really pumped up, and their first couple of shots went down, and they were confident. And Brazil picked up their defensive pressure a bit in the closing stages of the second half, and we were coming down with 4 or 5 seconds left on the shot clock, and it wasn't really a balanced shot that we were taking, and we ended up having to force a few up. Well, we were pretty much in that situation too, Brad, where we were applying very good pressure through most of it. How can they continue to apply that pressure to Brazil throughout the second half? Oh, I think Australia have the defensive players to do that. Of course, the foul trouble is going to come into it. I think if Vlahov can not pick up any fouls early in this half, that'll help us, because he's doing a great job on Oscar Smith. He's just not a factor at all. And Andrew Gaze, we'll just have to, play smart, as he's used to playing with fouls, as Ian said before. And down at the other end, the big guys just have to make better targets inside. Yeah. Because the same thing happened against the Italians. The Brazilians are playing some good defence in there. We've just got to get the ball inside. And Andrew Vlahov has been doing a good job taking it to Oscar Smith, because he's not playing any defence out there, or not a lot of defence, and that's leaving Andrew with an alley to the basket, and he's got to keep on taking that. All right, let's hope he does. OK, we'll take a break right now, and we'll be back with you on Channel 10 in just a few moments' time for our continuation of the World Basketball Championships.
Sunday on 10.
But let's first say hello to Judge Paul Grabowski.
The Comedy Company apologizes to a popular Tonight Live show.
For what, Steve?
For sending up its host this week. And to the cast and crew of a police drama.
I'm very good at this. I just can't get my private life to impinge on my police work.
An hilarious new episode of The Comedy Company.
I've got to work my assets up.
Sunday, 7:30 on Channel 10.
The bamboo curtain will close Sunday. All stock is marked down to clear, if you hurry. Porcelain egg sets, below cost, just $3. Jumbo-sized elephants, $49. These room-sized rugs, only $3.99. Glorious durries, only $11. Join the queue for these Chinese mugs with warmer lid, $1 tiny. Till 6 each night, including Sunday, when the bamboo curtain is closing down. Hurry to the National Exhibition Centre.
Listen to the FM 104.7 Morning Zoo at 7:20 weekdays when we nominate the big money songs. FM 104.7 guarantees never less than 4 big money chances to win $500 every weekday. Phone when you hear the big money song. If you phone from work, there's an extra 10% for your boss. Thank you. Plus, you might win a bonus Schweppes Cola Cruise. More ways to win, more good times and great rock and roll. Canberra's FM 104.7.
During the Nissan Team Dealers record-breaking sale, Lennox Motors guarantee the best value for money in Australia on any Nissan from the Nissan range, or
We'll buy it back.
2.4-litre Nissan Nomad, only $19,990 with power steering. 7-seater Patrol family wagons, $31,635. And free air conditioning and power steering with any Pulsar GX sold this month. Guaranteed the best value in Australia from the nicer Nissan people. Lennox Motors.
Have a good day, Westfield shopping. There's excitement in the air and fun for us to share. Have a good day, Westfield shopping. Good food and fashion to be found. So take a look around. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day, Westfield shopping.
Capitol Theatre Market is like stepping into another world.
Mel Gibson's on the run.
That ought to be enough to cover the damages.
What damages? He's got the cops on his heels. The mob on his back.
What are you, some kind of hero?
And Goldie Hawn on his nerves.
Capitol Theatre Market, the next best thing to being there.
Welcome back. We take you straight back to Argentina for the tip-off for the second half.
Thanks, Ken. About to tip off. Brazil leading 32-29. Davidoff to toss it up. Very important half of basketball. Now they're going to retoss that. This is it for Australia. They must win to finish in the top 8. And the Australian team very committed before the half got underway, imploring each other to victory. Oscar takes it on, and his offense is still not flowing, so Australia has a chance to get back on track here. Full house here. Newell's old boy into Rayborn. He draws the foul from Rolando. Australia's not shooting well from the foul line in the first half.
No, we saw Phil Smythe uncharacteristically miss the front end of a couple of one-on-ones before the half-time break. But Australia at one stage were leading 24-14 in the first half, and Brazil went on a 18-5 scoring surge, and that...
Well, Rayborn hits the first. Let's just tell you who's on the first 5 for Australia. We have Vlahoff, Borna, Bradkey, Gaze and Smythe. Brazilians with Maury, Gerson, Rolando, the 7-footer, Luis Felipe, and of course Oscar. Maury gets a nice and illegal screen from Oscar. Another screen from Gerson, but Smythe battles through. Good defense from Smythe. Oscar pushes off, gets a shot up, Vlahoff rebounds. Oscar lucky not to be called for an offensive foul there. Australia can take the lead on this play. Going to go at Oscar again, into Vlahoff, gets a hand in there, Borna picks it up, Gates for 3, looks short and is out of bounds. Brazilians on the break, Luis Felipe and Vlahoff, heads-up play. Andrew Vlahoff having a great game. Gates going to take on the whole Brazilian team, but he dishes to Bradkey. Bradkey finger roll, just missing.
He was unsure then whether to dunk or put up the finger roll and cost him 2 points.
Brazilian break, and they punished Australian Felipe on the break. They go to a 3-point lead, 34-31. Perhaps the dunk might have been a better option.
I think so. And it would have put it right in the face of the Brazilians early in the second half.
Rolando is just shoving Bradkey, just shoving him, had to be a foul, and is called.
Well, it took a long time for the referees to see that. The Australian bench, led by Adrian Hurley, screaming at the referees there.
think Rolando just had his arms crossed and was just pushing as hard as he could with his 7-foot body into Bradke. Bradke pops out. Lob pass to Borna. Borna collects. Fall away and scores. Better start for Australia. Trailing by 1, 34-33. Gerson at the top of the key. And they throw it away.
Well, that's a few mistakes there to the big man Orlando, and I think the Australians would be happy to see him out on the court.
Rolando, yeah, Israel does a better job for him, I think, but coach decided to go with Rolando. I'm sure Israel will be back in fairly shortly. Got Australians standing around a little bit. Spin move by Vlahov, dishes to Borna. Borna with a left-hand baby hook shot and scores. Andrew Vlahov, the main instigator again. Australians take the lead, 35-34.
And all 6 points in the half to Ray Borna, starting the second half like he did against Italy yesterday.
Spin move by Bori. Vlahov gets a hand in, only hits it out of bounds. Australian bench and Adrian Hurley looking pensive. They know that their fate at World Championships depends on the next 17.5 minutes. Oscar spins, pushes off, and draws the foul from Bradke. Bradke's calling for an offensive foul. We get a replay on that. You might see that Oscar Schmidt's offhand pushed away Mark Bradke's defensive hands. First foul on Mark Bradke.
Interesting to hear the crowd chanting, at least half the crowd chanting Australia. That's
I thought they were chanting Oscar.
It's hard to know. Our Spanish isn't quite au fait at this stage, Ross.
Oscar makes 2. Brazilians regain the lead, 36-35. Phil Smyth walking the ball up. Bradke a long way from the basket. Borna's been the main scoring threat this half. He takes a fall away, hits the back of the rim and out. Oscar rebounds. Here comes Luis Felipe. He may pull up and shoot the 3, but he decides to drive, and he's having great success with his drive. Strong to the right hand. That's the third time Felipe's been able to find a pass in the basket. He's the main pawn in the Australian side at the moment.
Yes, an excellent driver to the basket.
Brazil by 3. Vlahov takes on Oscar. Foul called by Davidoff. Luis Felipe got caught that time. Second foul on Luis Felipe. Australians get another 30 seconds after a foul. They'll use all that 30. They pass into Vlahov. Kicked away. Luis Felipe's wide open. Brazil by 5. Gerson cuts it out, but steps out of bounds. Important part of the game here. Australia must not allow Brazil to get in front. They're the great front runners, Brazil. They get a sniff. They get a sniff. They're going to go into top gear. Gaze takes on Felipe. Vlahov taking on Oscar again. He's fouled. Davidoff calls the foul on Oscar. How many fouls have on Oscar? Second foul.
2 fouls to Oscar, so no problems there for the Brazilians.
Australians need to do something here to ignite their offense. Vlahov wide open. Nice shot. Always looks like it was going to go in. Nice offense from the Australians.
And Vlahov
Oscar from way out, and he barges. Great defense, Andrew Vlahov. Big play. That's Oscar Schmidt's 3rd foul.
My word, we're seeing an outstanding game here from Andrew Vlahov. Not only is he Australia's leading scorer with 15 points, he's rebounding, he's doing all the tough defensive work. And who would have thought that Oscar Schmidt at this stage of the game would have been held to 10 points?
The crowd getting behind the Brazilian team. As you expect, Argentina is not too far from Brazil. But at the moment, the Brazilians are not giving them too much to be happy about. Brazil leading 40-37. Certainly the score is lower than they would like it. Australia would like the score to be about 20 all. Dumps it under Vlahov. Vlahov scores. Australia's getting back on track here. Great assist pass from Andrew Gaze. Big defensive play here, needed here. Oscar is getting frustrated with Vlahov. Felipe with that right-hand drive. goes to work, fall away jump shot, misses. Big rebound by Rolando. Oh, and he makes the shot flat. He tries to take it off the rim, just missed. Wide open is Andrew Vlahoff. Spin move and layup. Vlahoff is having a great game.
19 points to Andrew Vlahoff.
Australia doing the right thing on the last play, getting the bad shot from Oscar, but switch inside off Rolando. Great defensive switch. Warner and Vlahoff combining for some excellent defense.
My word, he's a very clumsy big man, Rolando.
Rolando stays in the game. Vlahoff decides not to take the three-pointer, which Oscar gave him. Gaze elects to kick it out, and 16 seconds on the shot clock. Australian set up. Here comes Vlahoff. Kicks on to Smythe. Smythe makes the shot, and that's a three-pointer. Australia regain the lead. 44-42. Just the tonic we needed. Oscar up and missing. Rolando again. Hand by Andrew Gaze. Bill Smythe dives. Luis Felipe comes up. Bounce pass to Oscar. He scores. Tied up 44 all. Newell's Old Boy Gymnasium in Rosario, Argentina.
Well, we're seeing some great work here by both sides, but particularly the Australians on defence are hustling. And another foul against the Brazilian big man, Rolando, and surely he's got to come up now. He's picked up 3 fouls early here in the second half, and I think we'll see substitution.
Rolando coming out. Also, Andrew Vlahoff coming out for a rest, and he's been replaced by Larry Sengstock. Shot clock down to 16. Bradkey to Borna. Borna's going to take Rolando on. Hook shot up and in. Nice play. Picks the soft defensive player out and went to him, Ray Borna. Borna goes down. Felipe another right-hand drive. Borna, great defense. No call. Gets barged over. And his man Israel, of course, just runs in. Smythe says there's a wet spot.
And Ray Borna with 8 points in the second half, playing exactly as he did yesterday against Italy.
46 all. Michael, I think we're going to have another nail-biter.
Looks that way, Ross. I think this one is certainly, with 13 minutes and 32 seconds left, will go right to the wire. Australia, of course, must win this game to go to Buenos Aires next week for the playoff for 1 to 8 position.
They only need to win the game. Bradkey back to Borna. Borna falls away. It's off the back of the rim. Larry Sengstock, good position. He's pushed out in the right spot. Bradkey congratulating Sengstock. Bradkey coming out, Longley coming in.
Interesting here, the foul count at the moment, with Brazil on 7 fouls and Australia only on 1.
It's going to be a major factor. In fact, down the stretch, Australia can get the Brazilians to keep fouling and Australia can make their foul shots. It's going to make a big difference in this game. Longley spins to try and get open. Borna does. He's surrounded. He hooks. Oh, he's been called for 3 seconds by referee Davidov, trying to get it across to Longley. Brazilians look to break. Morey back in the game. Morey wide open. Too easy. Brazil out to a 2-point lead, 48-46. Smythe was back covering other people's players, and Morey was able to get an uncontested shot. Longley, unsure, throws it away. Davidov with some theatrics.
A couple of costly turnovers there for Australia. We've got to get back on track here.
Smythe lost his footing and grabbed onto Morey. Not much he could do there. He went down in a heap, and all he could do was lay a hand out.
There seems to be some problems with the floor out there.
Smythe keeps telling them to wipe it, and the referees are now let
we see the replay here. It's still flipping over and grabbing the Brazilian on the way through.
Second personal foul of Bill Smythe. Lob pass to Luis Felipe. Gay's sitting on his right hand this time. Marcelo's been quiet. Bounce pass. Felipe. Andrew Gaze came up to double team and got punished. Brazilian crowds like that. Andrew Gaze has not been able to get into the game offensively in the second half.
Still sitting on 8 points and has not scored. In fact, has not even put up a shot in the second half.
Sengstock not noted for his outside shooting into Longley short, and it's Brazilian ball.
Another missed opportunity. That's 3 trips down the floor without scoring for Dabumi.
I think we could use Vlahoff.
Yes, I think it might be time to get him back into the game. But surely Andrew Gates is due to click shortly.
Marcel almost broke his drought. Longley battled hard and came up with the ball.
My word, that referee from Russia certainly gives some colourful calls.
Well, if you've seen Davidov referee as he did in Australia on 2 occasions, he's entertainment in his own right. John George coming in, Longley coming out.
And we've also got Damien Keogh in the game.
So Adrian Hurley not frightened to go to his bench at this crucial stage. Brazil by 4.
I'm not happy with this combination of George and Sengstock in the game at the moment, Ross. I'd prefer to see Bradkey or Longley, one or the other, in there.
Both not noted for their offence, but I think Vlahov's about to come in, probably for Sengstock. Smythe, big 3-point attempt. Nothing but the middle of the net. A veteran general keeps Australia on track, trailing by 1. Boy, we needed that basket.
Very crucial basket.
Good defensive team on the court at the moment, though. Israel seeing the screen for Morty.
Interesting though that Oscar is not on the floor at the moment for Brazil.
Try and switch. Foul by Sengstock. Clearly a foul.
Unfortunately, the clock had run down to 2 seconds, so the Brazilians were starting to panic a bit, trying to get that shot up, but Larry Sengstock, unfortunately for Australia, has fouled.
Unusual substitution. Bornas, the player that comes out. But Vlahoff back in.
Perhaps Adrian Hurley wanted to give Vlahoff a quick breather while Oscar was off the floor.
Still a good defensive squad on the court for Australia. Morey taking on Smythe, dishes to Israel. Great block by Larry Sengstock. John George calls for a foul. Putting Morey to the line.
Well, he really had no choice, and that's what he's there for, a shot blocker, John George. He had to get those long arms up. Unfortunately, they made contact with a shooting hand of number 15, Israel from Brazil, and the big centre will go to the line for 2 shots.
Israel has to make both, and he doesn't. So John George's effort, well worth it there. A certain layup for Israel. Now he has to earn it from the stripe, and already Australia's benefited by 1 point. Crowd hooting for some reason. And he misses both. Great result for Australia. Smart foul from John George. Now Australia not with a strong offensive team on the court.
All these little plays are crucial. Things like that foul there for John George and the Brazilians not taking advantage, I'm sure will count right at the end.
Vlahoff into the key. Smythe for 3. Doesn't go. Gerson with a rebound. Here comes the Brazil break.
Smythe trying to work him left.
Morey draws the foul. Davidov refutes Phil Smythe's claim that Morey was pushing off. Substitution, and great Oscar comes back in for Luis Felipe, and I'm not sure that I wouldn't I'd actually rather have Luis Felipe off the court at this stage. But then again, as soon as we say that, the great Oscar may light up.
Yes, he's had 8 points in the second half, Luis Felipe.
Vlahoff straight back to Oscar Schmidt. Still a low-scoring game, so this is what Australia wants. Israel backing in. Oscar travel. And referee Davidov agrees. Score 50-49, Brazil by 1.
Phil Smythe slowly bringing the ball down the court. That's what Australia wants.
Sengstock, not normally his shot, and it just doesn't go. Gay's getting ready to come back in.
Probably the right shot because he was wide open, but not a noted shooter, Larry Sengstock.
Smythe, great steal. Australia's on the break. George ahead of great play from Keogh. Let George get in the position. Hesitated. George only had to make the layup, and he did. Smart play from Keogh. Could have given the ball to George earlier, but held on to the pass, allowing the big man to get right in position. Oscar misses, and Davidoff from right over the other side of the court picks out a foul on Keogh. Gay's checking in for Smythe. Oscar to the line for 2. We're tied up at 51. People were hanging from rafters. As I speak, Oscar, the second shot makes it. Score 52-51. Brazil leading.
Are the Broncos good enough to take out the minor premiership? The Panthers get their chance on the State Bank Big Game. Sunday at 6, only on Channel 10.
At Team Nissan's record-breaking sale, they're rolling them out at record-breaking prices, like this 2.4-litre Nomad with power steering for just $19,990. That's right, $19,990. This 7-seater Patrol family wagon is only $31,635. And whoa, look at this! Fantastic deals, brilliant trade-ins on powerful new Pintaras, plus great deals on other Nissan vehicles. See your Nissan dealer fast, before it all ends August 31.
It's a Nissan, that's my car.
The bamboo curtain will close Sunday. All stock is marked down to clear. If you hurry. Porcelain egg sets, below cost, just $3. Jumbo-sized elephants, $49. These room-sized rugs, only $3.99. Glorious durries, only $11. Join the queue for these Chinese mugs with warmer lid, $1 tiny dollar. Till 6 each night, including Sunday, when the bamboo curtain is closing down. Hurry to the National Exhibition Centre.
At Regal Charcoal Chicken Charnwood, the choice is yours to eat here or take away. Choose from tender, tasty chooks, fresh salads, delicious home-style pizzas, hearty hamburgers, sizzling steak sandwiches, refreshing ice cream, and a whole lot more. And because it's a family business, you'll always receive friendly service and competitive prices. Regal Charcoal Chicken, for fast food that looks good and tastes great. In the heart of the Charnwood Shopping Centre, Charnwood Place, Charnwood.
Back to action here. Score has not changed. 52-51. Brazil lead by 1. Andrew Gay from way out. 3 points to Andrew Gay. Australians go ahead by 2. Big basket. Brazil looks to answer. Call is a foul on by Davidoff.
It could be on John Dorge again. Yes. But John Dorge, even though he's just picked up his 3rd foul, it hasn't cost Australia at all. The first 2 fouls he picked up, Brazil was not able to capitalise at the line. But what a 3-pointer that was from Andrew Gay. His first score of the second half, and he was found, as they say.
Marcel is having a quiet night. George tangling with Israel. Brings the Brazilians within 1. Mark Bradke getting ready to check back in, probably for John Dorge. Three from the line, Marcel. Argentinian Tooting makes both tied up at 54. 8.5 minutes to go. This crucial game 3 of the opening round of competition in Rosario. George has done a good job at backup centre. Vlahoff taking on Oscar. Damien Keogh. Gates open for 3. Just off Sengstock. Fight hard, gets the rebound. The Saints pull out and they're going to back it out and run another play. 30 seconds on the shot clock again. Valuable rebound from Larry Sengstock.
Yes, that was good work from the veteran forward.
Keogh off the screen. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Australia will have to start getting into some position to score. Vlahoff taking on Oscar. All the way to the basket, in and out. Off Israel, and Davidoff picks that up. A substitution, Mark Bradke coming in for John Dorge. Good job from John Dorge. Valuable minutes in for the Australian team. Had a great season so far with Geelong, and valuable minutes for Australia here in the crucial 3rd game. Another 30-second clock. Vlahoff looking to take it at Oscar again. Bradke sets a half screen and a foul from Israel, which will put Vlahoff to the line.
And of course, Ross, Australia must win this game here tonight because having lost to Italy last night, Brazil already through, having beaten Italy and China. Australia only one win to date against China, so we must win this game to qualify next week for Buenos Aires. Italy has won 2 games, one against Australia, naturally enough, and they demolished China earlier today. So the Italians would be sitting here in the crowd very nervously watching this game because everything hinges on it for them too.
Australia having trouble from the foul line. While you're away, Andrew Gaze uncharacteristically missed a front end of a one-on-one. Andrew Vlahov, I wouldn't say that was the best foul shot he's ever thrown, but got the roll to extend, or in fact to take Australia to a 1-point lead, 65-54. Vlahov, 2 from the line.
My word, he gets a very high arch on those foul shots, Andrew Vlahov.
Right up there. Oscar off the backboard, doesn't get the roll, but good slam dunk. Ties the score at 56. Australians not blocking out properly there. Gerson getting the step up he needed. Bradkey's going to take it straight back at Israel. Dishes to Sengstock, who's fouled. Sengstock's got a 2-shot foul, I believe. Substitution.
A foul there on number 11, Marcel, for Brazil.
Second foul. You can see on the replay now, dished nicely and clearly a foul as Larry Sengstock took it up. Big foul shots here from Sengstock. Clutch foul shooting. 4 World Championships under his belt. He would love to go out as a winner. This will be his last World Championship. 2 for 2. And he comes out after a great shot. Warner coming in. The Australian bench congratulating Sengstock on some valuable minutes.
Fine job there, showing all the experience of those 4 World Championships for Larry Sengstock.
2-point lead to Australia. The general's going to be checking in. Phil Smythe. Oscar pushing off. Israel on the low post. Dishes back to Gerson. Gerson looks to travel. Makes the jumper. Tied up. 68 all. A classic at Newell's Old Boys Gymnasium in Rosario. Hope you're enjoying it at home. The crowd here certainly getting a great feel. Pass in from Borna to Bradkey. Bradkey makes the basket. Australia's offense working well. They must shut the Brazilians down though. 6.5 minutes to go. Australia 60, Brazil 58.
Look at Andrew Vlahov there on Oscar Smith, wearing him like a glove.
Oscar in the low post. Israel. Marcel for 3. Short. Tipped by up and in, but almost Ray Borna comes up with it. Australia perhaps slightly fortunate. Can extend the lead to 4 here. You get the feeling if the Australians can get a 4-point lead or better, they may be able to break the game open.
Yes, we certainly need to get on a roll here.
Crowd getting behind Brazil. Big play coming up. Get out of the key, Ray Borna. It's been given to Australia. A slight tip there.
Yes.
Substitution.
I thought there the referee might have been caught blind and the Brazilian bench trying to suck him in, but Davidoff, Soviet referee.
The shot clock's on 4 seconds. 4 seconds, so Australia are going to have to get why is Andrew Gaze taking the side ball? Do they realise Andrew Vlahov does? He launches 3, just hits the ring.
Well, that was most unusual that Andrew Gaze would be inbounding that ball when the ball should have been going to him to get the shot up.
Strange tactics from the Australians there. Marcel driving and scores. We're tied up again. The umpteenth time, 60 all. Mike says, let's run a bit of time off this clock. Let's make the Brazilians play defense. Brazilians, of course, want the up-tempo game. Vlahov spins up with a high-arcing shot. Bradkey unlucky not to be fouled. Australia's fortunate to come up with the ball there. Israel had Bradkey in his back. You can see that Garina, who's checked in, letting the referee know that. Check that wasn't Garina, sorry. That was Kadam, who's into the action. Gaze off a pick. 2 picks, in fact. Lex to kick it back out. Long 3-pointer on target and in. We were right behind that one. We followed it with interest.
Not only that, we cheered it in, Ross.
63-60. Can Australia turn Brazil back here? Gerson from just outside. Oh, gets a soft bounce. Australia still leading by 1. Got the bounce there, Michael.
Oh, well, we just had a little bit of luck ourselves like that at the offensive end. That was most fortunate there for Brazil.
Another Andrew goes three-pointer could be the answer here. Borna to Smythe to Vlahoff. Vlahoff dishes, beautiful play. That's a foul, but no call.
Ray
Borna remonstrating, but he better get back on defence because Tatum's pushing the ball down. Behind the back dribble. Smythe with a timely hand. Goes through his legs, but Oscar comes up with it. The Brazilians regain the lead, 64-63. Unluckily, the ball went through Andrew Vlahoff's legs.
Well,
Smythe gets fouled, but no call. Both teams in the bonus here. Any foul will result, except for an offensive foul, will result in a one-on-one.
2 lucky baskets there for Brazil.
Yep, no doubt about that, Michael. Borna, clutch shot. Ball kept alive by none other than Andrew Vlahoff.
My word, Australia would not be in this game without the efforts of Andrew Vlahoff tonight.
You see why this player is highly regarded in college basketball in the States. Playing with Stanford, smart, big, plays defense, and can he shoot? No, he can, but he just missed that one. Follows his own shot. Heroic efforts by Vlahoff here.
Now that's just an example of sort of luck you need. The shot just rimming out. He would have made the 2 points there and gone to the line with a bonus shot. Now he has to make the 2 fouls.
Tatum checking out, Garina checking in. Here's a replay. Andrew Vlahoff following his own missed shot and just unlucky to convert a 3-point play. Players spread all over the court. I'm not sure what's happening here. They're taking drinks in corners. Adrian Hurley's talking to Andrew Gaze. Marcel's down the other end of the court under toweling down. 2 shots is the call. Makes the first. Tied up at 64, 3.5 minutes to go. I hope you're on the edge of your seats back there in Australia because we are here. Second shot, good. Australia in front again, 65-64.
23 points in the game for Andrew Vlahoff.
And his defence, not to be underestimated. He's back on Oscar.
Another 15.
Oscar spins and makes 2. Brazilians back in the lead. What a game.
Well, we predicted this would go down to the wire, and with 3 minutes and 12 seconds, Australia trailing by a point and playing for their lives.
Australia taking it the hard way. They could have defeated Italy and perhaps gone through easily, even with a loss against Brazil, but now it's all down to this last 3 minutes of basketball as we just tick over 2:59 now.
We
Every play vital.
From Andrew Gaze with a foul off the ball.
Oscar's caught, pushed off on Smythe. Zeke was onto it. See the graphic description.
And 4 fouls for Oscar Smith.
Vital foul, that.
As we see the sign going up there. We don't have the elaborate scoreboards here as we do at home.
I think Phil might have put a little bit of extra mustard on that one. It wasn't too big a bump.
He might have been watching some of the Italians last night. I think he's learned his lessons well.
Phil Smythe, who has missed 2 front ends of 2 one-on-one, just had, we had heart palpitations with that one. Looked at every part of the rim and said, yeah, I'm going home this time. This time it goes home a little bit more convincingly. Australia, 67-66. Big defensive series coming up here. Borna with Israel. Gerson again. Gerson this time more convincingly. Brazil, 68-67. I've lost track of the lead changes.
It's just basket to basket now, Ross.
Big crowd here at Rosario is being thrilled by easily the best game of this round of matches. High quality defence, no easy baskets. If you want to make a basket here, you better be good. Andrew Gaze is looking to provide his own set of heroics. Phil Smythe comes off. Vlahoff from 3. He can't get it. Smythe goes forward and he, perhaps a timely foul, gets hit in the face by Gerson. They haven't called it intentional.
It's a 1-on-1.
A good foul by Smythe in the end. I was fearful that Davidoff might call intentional on that.
Yes, it was a touchy one. Phil made it look probably worse well, easier than what it was, I should say, because he seemed to have copped a knock in the mouth himself.
He did get hit in the chops, so this could work to Australia's advantage, although Gersten's hit his last 2 jump shots from this position, but now he has pressure on him. He's thinking about this, and he's short, doesn't get the bounce. Vlahov's there. Australia come up with the ball. 2 minutes to go.
Just what Australia needed then.
Trailing by 1.
We've got a score on this play.
Karina dogging Smythe. Warner well out from the key. I think Gaze may be the player to go to here. Vlahov not having the latitude. Warner dishes to Vlahov. Vlahov off the basket. Vlahov makes it Australia in front. 69-68. Smith back in the game. Double team Smythe and Vlahov. Smith pushes off. 5 fouls on Smith. Great defense, Andrew Vlahov.
And he's kicked the ball away.
Australian bench up, looking for a tech foul. In fact, that's the biggest play of the game, without a doubt. Smith goes out. Timeout called by Brazil. The score, 69-68. Australia's favour. What a play. Describe that play. What it means to Australia.
What it means to Australia, we see Andrew Vlahov there falling flat on his back. He drew the charge from Oscar. He's held the great Brazilian superstar to 18 points by my score sheet. And not only that, he scored 23 points himself, and he's been by far Australia's most outstanding player.
Oscar is a player who scores in the 40s. In fact, against the United States, he single-handedly demolished them at the Pan Asian Games in Indianapolis. A one-man shooting spree, he defeated the United States. Andrew Vlahov kept him to 18 points, and his point total, Andrew Vlahov's point total?
I've got him down to 23.
23 points in probably one of the biggest games that Australia's participated in.
I'll make a correction to that. 25 points.
25. If he hadn't scored, his defence alone would make him so valuable. Adrian Hurley hands the clipboard to Barry Barnes. A minute 27 to go. The Australians have a 1-point lead. The Brazilian gun is off the court. I don't think it's time to relax, though.
No, it certainly isn't. We've seen that Brazil, Gersten is certainly a threat. Those pull-up jumpers he's been burying in the last couple of minutes.
Marcelo and Luis Felipe are the 3-point options. Well, Felipe's come in. Australia want to run this clock right down. And if possible, draw a foul. Andrew Gaze thought about the 3, pulls it out. 13 seconds on the shot clock.
9 times out of 10 he would have taken that.
Here comes Gaze. Elects not to head off. Monstrous 3-pointer. Doesn't go. Don't foul. Get back, Aussies. Smythe. Travel call. Phil Smythe comes up with a big defensive play. Steps into the path of Marcel. Adrian Hurley calling timeout. Australia leading 69-68. What a play from Phil Smythe. Heads-up play. If he hadn't stopped that player, it was an open basket.
Because there was another Brazilian player unattended under the ring, and that would have been a certain layup, and that would have given Brazil the lead back.
If Australia runs the clock down here, there's 55 seconds to go, and they get the clock down under 30 seconds, they may have a 3 to 4 point lead. That would only give the Brazilians one opportunity, perhaps, to score. Many things can happen. But if Australia can play smart basketball here we're seeing the vital play. No, sorry, another earlier play where Smith scored. The Australians must work the clock down here. The Brazilians may foul and send one of the poorer foul shooting Australians to the line. Australians have a pretty good team on the court. Smythe in no hurry. Hang on to your seats. Here we go with the most important minute of basketball in this 1990 World Championships. No action at the moment. Clock down to 41 seconds, 15 seconds on the shot clock. It's crunch time. Brazilians not playing hard pressure defense. They won't give a foul away. Pick for Gaze. Gaze to 3. Go home ball. Warner gets the rebound and get back it out. The Australians don't have to shoot the ball. There's 20 seconds.
They don't have to shoot the ball.
To go. Check that. The shot clock's turned off. They just have to maintain possession. Warner in the break in the corner. Careful with that ball. Back out to Vlahov. On to Gaze. Vlahov kicks it across the border. 10 seconds to go. The crowd's on their feet. Andrew Gage kicks the ball out. Go Australia. Australia wins the foul. Foul, 1.8 seconds to go. Australia leads 69-68. They're going to take a side ball. They're going to take a side ball. The crowd right at their feet. Adrian Hurley calls the timeout. Stand and cheer, Australia. We're almost home. What a rebound by Ray Warner. What a time to get it.
That was magnificent. Now listen, Adrian Hurley is imploring his players to quieten down.
We're looking at the Brazilian bench, but Michael Love is quite correct. Explain what's going on, Michael.
Well, Australia will take a side ball. They had the option of taking one-on-one. They won't do that. It is possible for Brazil to score in 1.8 seconds, but they will certainly try and foul again. There's no doubt about that. But
I can't see how we can lose this one, but basketball is an incredible game. You cannot stop concentrating until the final play. What could happen here is the Australians may push off an offensive foul, the Brazilian may flop down, they get the ball, they inbound, someone scores. So, viewers at home, don't relax yet, because we certainly aren't. Adrian Hurley quite correctly calming down the victory celebration.
Yes, because they were starting to get a little bit carried away there. Look, it's not over yet. We don't want to sound too pessimistic, but Australia, what an outstanding effort to what we think will be one of the greatest victories in Australian basketball.
Ball coming in out to Brad Gibbs. It's all over. It's all over. Australia wins. Great win, 69-68. Jubilation, Andrew Gage. Australians at centre court. Fantastic win to the Australians. Losing to Italy last night, an upset. True Aussie character and grit coming out. The Brazilians' fine effort, and the Argentinian crowd congratulating the Australians, as they should. Packed house in Rosario. I hope you're feeling this back home. It was a great moment. Andrew Vlahoff, the man of the match without a doubt. Defense, offense, you name it. Andrew Vlahoff, sensational effort. Embracing Luke Longley and Andrew Vlahoff. Great moments here, great moments. Tim Morrissey, all the Aussies. He might have played, but I tell you what, he was there. The Aussies in centre court. Be proud of them for a great win. Well done, Australia. Crowd here giving a great applause. The Brazilian might have been the South American team, but the Aussies have won their hearts. As they go off, Michael, what can I say?
Well, Ross, I know your voice is just about worn out. We should tell the viewers that really is one of the greatest victories in Australian basketball history. When Australia's back is to the wall, this is when we see the best in our team. It's unfortunate that we just can't get the victories we should. We really should have beaten Italy last night after we nailed them by 28 points. Yeah, it's a goodwill game. But Australia, with backs to the wall, have come out here with a one-point victory. For the third time we've beaten Brazil at a major competition. 1982 we did it in Colombia, 1984 at the Olympic Games, and now 1990
we can get one of the world David to talk to.
We're trying to get one of the Australians here to talk to him. Okay, we'll take you back to Ken Hose in the studio.
Thank you very much, fellas, and what a great call. And boy, the jubilation is certainly there, probably one of the most important wins Australia's ever likely to have, and that's certainly going to keep the World Championships alive for us for the next week. There's some great basketball still to come here on 10. We're going to take a break and be back with you in the studio in just a moment.
At Team Nissan's record-breaking sale, they're rolling them out at record-breaking prices, like this 2.4-litre Nomad with power steering for just $19,990. That's right, $19,990. This 7-seater Patrol family wagon is only $31,635. And whoa, look at this! Fantastic deals, brilliant trade-ins on powerful new Pintaras, plus great deals on other Nissan vehicles. See your Nissan dealer fast before it all ends August 31.
It's a Nissan, that's my car.
This small business system is one of many manufactured by Alcatel STC.
Got you on the last flight.
And by helping businesses in New Zealand, Samoa, Singapore and Fiji, they earn export dollars for Australia. Likewise, the optical fibre systems developed by Alcatel STC to link towns and cities in Australia are also winning orders in countries with similar harsh terrain and climate, like Pakistan. And back here, Alcatel STC is creating a new industry in Australia by manufacturing undersea communication cable systems for world markets. Alcatel STC is Australia's largest communications company because we know how to compete.
Welcome back. We're going to take you right back to Rosario now, where Ross Close, our commentator at Rosario, has with him the man of the match without a doubt, Andrew Vlahoff, and of course the Australian coach, Dr. Adrian Hurley.
I'm Andrew Vlahoff with me. Andrew, what does that feel like?
Oh, exhilarating. I can't describe the feeling, Ross. Honestly, it's the best feeling you could ever get, I think.
Andrew, do you realise you shot down one of the scoring legends in the world and also set the score sheet alight yourself? Were you just concentrating on defence, or did you also understand that you had to exploit Oscar's defence?
Yeah, I knew coming in this game that I'd have spin and I'd have to do a job on him. I knew he's fairly, weak defensively, so I just took it to him and did the best that I could.
As we talk, the Australians are being mobbed. You probably have that on your screen. The crowd is chanting. Andrew, I don't know what to say. It was one of the best efforts I've ever seen in the green and gold. And that went live to Australia. I think you'll be somewhat of a national hero after that game. Congratulations, Andrew.
Thanks very much, Ross.
Well done.
I'd like to say hello to my family back home and my three sisters, wherever they are. Thank you.
I hope you can hear the atmosphere here. We're going to pass over to Adrian Hurley now. You can see on your screen the scenes of jubilation here. The Argentinian crowd is atop of Australia. Adrian, congratulations.
Thanks very much, Ross.
You never had any doubt you were going to win tonight, did you?
No, well, it was a test of character. I said to the guys that really it was a time to stand up and be counted and have a lot of patience and a lot of discipline. And, we were very disappointed in the way we played yesterday. And the guys came through. They played the game the way we set up the game plan. So that was good.
Thanks, Adrian. Congratulations.
Okay.
Well, Michael Lovett, we've got to finish up now. Peter Booth, who's been with us, one of the best games you'll ever see. And we're going to cross back to the studio now. Ken Hose, we're drained. I hope you are. Thank you.
We certainly are, and thank you very much, fellas. A great call there from Argentina in what's been a great game of basketball. We'll take a break. Back with you in just a moment on 10.
Michael's jumping when new neighbours move into Pleasant Crescent.
Killer dogs, screaming children.
Hey, great guy. Colin Carpenter, 8 o'clock Monday on 10.
Don't buy Laser, don't buy Corolla until you see for yourself that Pulsar GX from Lennox Motors is the best value for money in Australia. If it's not, we'll buy it back. Pulsar has more, and this month, Lennox will throw in power steering and air conditioning worth $2,000 absolutely free with a 2-year 40,000k warranty. Lennox Motors guarantee you the best value for money in Australia, or
we'll buy it back.
The nicer Nissan people with the buyback guarantee. Lennox Motors.
Welcome back to our studios in Sydney. Just repeating for those of you that may have been unfortunate enough to have just joined us, Australia has just defeated Brazil in the basketball in a superb game by 1 point. And what a great defensive effort it was for them, Ian, in the dying moments of that game to hold it up.
Yeah, that's right. What a great game. I mean, for pressure basketball, you can't get any better than that. And Australia had their backs against the wall to come out and win this game, and gee, they stuck with it. And some great playing by Andrew Vlahoff. Obviously, the best game he's ever had at the international level. And he did an outstanding job on Oscar Schmidt. Drew the fifth foul, which was a very key play towards the end. And what I liked down towards the end was when the Brazilians had a break, a chance to go out into the lead, and Phil Smythe, very experienced defensive play, jumped out in front of the ball carrier, caused the travel, and Australia got the ball right back.
Well, Brad, of course, nothing too much can be said about Vlahoff's performance, I don't think, but it was not only good defensively, it was a great game in attack as well, wasn't it?
Yes, well, Oscar Smith's not known for his offence and, his defence. And Andrew just took it straight to him, and there was always an opening there, and another player had to help out, which caused a lot of times a foul or an opening to the basket, and Andrew was able to dish off to someone else or score himself a lot of the time. OK, well now let's take a look at this foul that is brought about by the play of Phil Smythe. It's great stuff. Got it coming for you now.
Oh, this is Oscar's...
No, that's the wrong one. That's Vlahoff's performance against...
Yeah, that's Oscar Smith's fifth foul.
Yeah. Smiths and Smythe had me confused. I'm sorry about that.
Andrew did a good job of getting position there on Oscar, and it's good to get 5 fouls on Oscar Schmidt, and he's a prolific scorer at this level. He's capable of getting 40, 50 points.
Yeah.
And Andrew Vlahoff to keep him to, what was it, about 18, I think, and that's an outstanding job. And let's hope that the boys can come up with this now and go on with it in the next round.
Yes, that's going to be the important part. There's a lot more basketball yet to come in the World Championships. Take a break. Back with you in just a moment.
On Capital's 10 Evening News, the difference is experience. Like Greg Robson's experience in sport. Greg has lived and breathed all sorts of sports for over 10 years. And he brings your sport home on Capital's 10 Evening News. Join Greg Robson weeknights at 6. His experience makes a world of difference.
No other chocolate looks like flake looks.
No other chocolate tastes like flake taste.
Hold a bun full of Cadbury Dairy Milk. Feel it crumble and melt in your mouth.
Ross spoke with the coach of the Australian side, Adrian Hurley, after the match. I think he brought forward 2 key words in that game, patience and discipline. And that was about the story of the game, really, wasn't it?
That's right, Ken. I mean, like we said before the game, that Australia would take a bit of the air out of the ball and work it around, and their patience was good throughout the game. There was a few times where we tried to take a few more shots than we probably needed from the perimeter. But down towards the end, when the pressure's really on, the guys really started playing very good defense, and we worked the ball inside and got a couple of good shots and putting pressure on Brazil all the time.
It was particularly good, probably, Brad, because at a stage in the first half of the match, we really struck a scoring drought. We were not getting the ball through at all, and it was starting to look pretty bad for us at that point, I think.
Yeah, that was around the 27-point mark. I think we stayed there for an awful long time, and eventually Mike Mackay broke it with a jump shot. But that was just, we weren't getting the ball inside, and we were working it around, probably a bit too patient in offence and not taking the opportunities as they came, because there were some opportunities there, and we probably around the 22nd, 15-second mark, and instead of taking that shot, which was a good shot, Australia decided to work it around for up to the 25, 30-second mark, which is not a bad thing, but they weren't getting anything out of it. So I'd say Adrian at half-time probably said, look, let's go inside, if you have the early one and it's a good shot, take it. And they did that in the second half.
All right, well, to exemplify that patience and discipline, now let's take a look once again, and I'll get your comments, fellas, on this as we go through it. The last 2 minutes at what's been a superb game of basketball. Smythe with the ball, walking slowly up the court as you predicted he would early, Ian.
Yes, here Australia will be just moving the ball around, trying to get a good shot.
Clock down to 41 seconds, 15 seconds on the shot clock.
Now, it's a case of just keep possession of that ball as long as possible as it's counting down on the shot clock.
Yes, they must shoot it. They must shoot it. There's the shot they want. And that's a great rebound there by Ray Borner. That's the game. So they get a new 30-second clock here. They do not need to shoot it.
They just have to maintain possession.
You have to play keep-offs with the Brazilians here. Throw it before they can get near them and foul.
On the gate. Flahoff kicks it across the border. 10 seconds to go. The crowd's on their feet. Andrew Gage kicks the ball out. Australia. Australia wins a foul. Foul, 1.8 seconds to go.
Now that foul in there on Smythe, we then had to rethink the plan for the last second and a half of the game virtually.
Yes, well, they had the choice of taking the shots, which would be a one-on-one opportunity. Now, if Brazil did happen to get the rebound, they had 1.9 seconds to score, which means they'd have to throw probably a full-court shot or maybe off one or two dribbles from right down the other end, but it still gives them a chance to score. Right. So Adrian decided we'll take the ball from the side and throw in a good pass to one of our players and use up that 1.9 seconds, don't give him a chance.
And make sure we don't foul.
That's right, it's very important in that situation. As you're lining up to take the ball out of bounds, you got to be careful that you don't push off on somebody, and because of course that blows the whistles and they get 2 free throws. So it's very important.
All right, well, very importantly, of course, now for all of our basketball fans who are watching all of the World Championships right around Australia through the 10 network, that now means, of course, we'll be following the fortunes of Australia as they go through the finals next week, starting from next Tuesday on Channel 10. And that's going to be some great stuff. The first game, of course, in that series then will be against Puerto Rico. So we'll be looking forward to Australia in battle against Puerto Rico next Tuesday night here on 10. Now let's take a look at the top 8 as they've qualified in the World Championships. And here they are, the top 8 qualifiers: Yugoslavia, Puerto Rico, Greece, the USA, Brazil, Australia, the USSR and Argentina. So that's the lineup of those teams that we'll see throughout the remainder of this series of World Championships. And there's going to be some great basketball lined up. Who's going to be the biggest potential danger to Australia now?
Well, always going to be the top 3. I mean, Yugoslavia, the Russians and the States would have to be the favorites there. But I think Australia finishing second in their pool and Puerto Rico upsetting Yugoslavia has given Australia a better chance because they play Puerto Rico in the first game instead of Yugoslavia. And I think Australia's confidence after this game, and Puerto Ricans play a similar type of game to Brazil. So, you know, let's hope that Australia can get up there and win that first game in the next round and go on with it from there.
Well, Brad, if there's one thing we've seen from the World Championships already, of course, there's no such thing as a lay-down misere. There's been a few upsets, and we're going to have to guard against those for the remainder of the tournament, obviously.
Yes, I think it's important, too, not to get too far ahead of yourself. Like, at the moment, they've got Puerto Rico in next game, and all they have to really do is concentrate on Puerto Rico. Just watch every video they can on Puerto Rican team and know their players back the front. So not to look too far ahead of where they're going. And I dare say they'll be looking forward to a little bit of a layoff now to recoup and let a bit of stiffness out of the limbs, huh?
Yes, well, they've been playing a lot of basketball, and you know, the emotion of that game is they won't be feeling anything with the injuries tonight or anything like that. But it'll be good to have a couple of days off and get ready to go to Buenos Aires and get settled up and play Puerto Rico.
Certainly will. We'll take a break and be back with you in just a moment with the World Championships of Basketball.
Sunday on 10.
But let's first say hello to Judge Paul.